Yeah, we in the building. You don't know anything about the Macho Man, Randy Savage, and where I'm coming from because it's mind-boggling to you, yeah. You know, I've been listening to that all day today. Oh man, what's going on, Kojo?
Hey, listen, I'm in a good mood. Southampton, firstly, are whacking Man City, so this is beautiful for me. It's beautiful.
Look at
You know,
these shameless
you did the Macho Man,
Man
so I'm gonna
United
do.
fans.
You did the Macho Man, so I'm gonna do the other version of that from Clint Dempsey. You don't know where I'm from, dog. Don't know where I'm from, dog.
Americans are so braggadocious, man.
Honestly,
They're so braggadocious. What's good, man? What's going on, Kojo?
hey, bro, I'm good, man. Obviously, it's been a lot happening in 24 hours.
Yes.
Chaos. Obviously, me, you spoke about it on the phone, on WhatsApp. So yeah, obviously we're here to talk about some stuff because boy, some stuff be happening. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, I'm always here for some wrestling drama.
Indeed, we are, man. If you don't know by now, you are tuned in to our wrestling podcast. Do you still watch wrestling? Featuring myself and Coach Kojo from Free in Midfield. And listen, we got the news earlier on today. It's breaking right here on the Dash of Sports. But Vince McMahon has sold WWE to Saudi Arabia. I don't know who in particular, but it just seems like Saudi Arabia, the whole place itself. And man, I'm still flabbergasted. I'm still shocked. I'm going to let you start with this because I can't find the words to kind of... I don't understand what's going on, Kojo. I don't understand. Vince McMahon has sold WWE. Is this correct? And what we're hearing?
I mean, I don't know because suddenly people were coming out saying it's very, very premature and there's no deal in place. So like, it's like the Wesley Schneider to Man United rumors back in the day when they were like, yeah, it's a done deal and he's definitely going to Man United. You're like, wait, nah, he's not. Kind of thing. I don't know. It's a weird one. But the thing is, I do worry that there's truth in it because obviously we've been having these shows in Saudi Arabia for a while now. And I'm all for, don't get me wrong, I know what people think of Saudi Arabia and, the crimes and the human rights and everything in between. Don't get me wrong. And I'm with it somewhat, but at the same time, there are people in the country who are innocent who deserve to watch and enjoy wrestling as much as we do here. Because let's just keep it real. The UK and the US are not clean countries. You know what I'm saying? They're not clean countries. So,
Facts.
we if they get to enjoy it, because you see the passion in the fans when they're watching it, they're enjoying it. They've got their shirts on, they got the branding, they got they got the songs that listen to, they enjoy it just as much as me and you do, you know what I'm saying? Like there could be someone in Saudi Arabia that listens to the show and say, yeah, I want to talk wrestling with you guys. And he could just be just as, I'll use the word knowledgeable as us, for example, So I'm down for that. But selling to I don't know whether it's the guys that own Newcastle or any other rich guy in that place, it's such a bad idea. It's such a bad idea because I mean, I don't know from a wrestling perspective, but from other sports, in particular football, they're very active. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. In football, it's a great thing for a football club where you got owners that will spend money to improve the team. But wrestling is not the same business. Wrestling is a sport entertainment business. And are they going to prioritize what they feel is the right thing for them to do over what's happening now? Is this a power play from Vince saying if I sell to these guys and they know me, they'll put me in roles where no one can touch me? God forbid it be creative again, because I don't want to ever hear another Hornswoggle being his illegitimate son. But but yeah, man, it's very it's just conflicting stories, and I honestly don't know which one to believe, because I really want to believe that he has not sold this company to.
Bro, I can see the pain in your face as well. I'm feeling exactly the same way. Like when I heard the story, I was just like, no way. This can't be true. What was your initial thought?
Oh, I was fuming. I was fuming. I was fuming. Um, in the free midfield group chat, we were talking about football, and then I started talking about how Vincent McMahon did his dad dirty when his dad passed away, and what an absolute criminal he is, and just going off on him. And they were like, "Yo, why are you so mad?" And then I sent a link, and they're like, "No," like,
Yeah.
but I was just annoyed because why is he doing this? Like, it's become a thing of your daughter stepped away, your son has stepped away. I mean, I don't trust the guy. I was, what's happening? What's happening? And
Mm,
if he used to sell to them, it's all for him. It's not. It's not for the family. It's not for the best of the business or the company.
mm.
It's for what is good for Vincent Kennedy McMahon Jr. Jr.
man, man put in the middle name as well. Do you know what it was? Even now, as you're just talking as well, I'm trying to just scan over like more information about it. And you're right, it is a bit conflicting because it's gone from Vincent Kennedy McMahon, as you said, Vince McMahon. He took a step back, right, in terms of retirement, and not going to go fully into what he's allegedly been accused of and stuff. But there's been some murky waters on his side, which he took a step back. He's then pushed forward Triple H and Stephanie McMahon being more of the CEOs and the chairman and chairwoman of the company. But now then the news is the fact that he's made his comeback. He's assumed the position of chairman once again. And now we're hearing that Stephanie McMahon has basically relinquished all her posts. She's no longer chairwoman. She's no longer anything of high ranking in the company. Like when that news came out as well, as along with the sale of WWE, what was your thoughts?
I think I quote tweeted her tweet with "Oh no." That's what I quote tweeted. I said, "Oh no," because that actually terrified me. Not gonna lie to you. And I'm obviously I love wrestling as a whole. I love WWE in particular, but I have no personal connection to any of those members of the McMahon family. But she is impactful, and you've seen the difference since she became co-CEO and Vince Triple H became like head of creative and the rest of
Mm,
it. And not only the show's being better, they're making more money. They're selling at WrestleMania way in advance,
twice over
twice
as well.
over, bro. And obviously, I'm gonna ask you a question as well, because like, can you think of a time? And this is what I'm thinking about Vince, because I feel like Vince is just sitting at home thinking, "Yo, these guys are making more money than I did. They're 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 selling at
No,
WrestleMania
no.
before the year even begins. I'm getting these guys the hell out of there. Get out of my get out, bro." Like, can you think of a time where, or the last time rather, WWE was this successful in doing business, considering that they've got a competitor?
I would say the last time I was young, but I would say that I felt the impact is Attitude Era. I
Mm.
would say like the Monday Night Wars. I believe that when WWE won the wars versus WCW, literally it transcended WWE or WWF, however you want to see it from them days. So I think that's the last time. Um, we I think we all knew that one day this will happen in terms of like Vince McMahon phasing out. I thought to myself, okay, cool. We are definitely in a new era. And we spoke about this in the last show in terms of like Triple H's vision and how he's taking things, and he's merging the NXT, and you can see the SmackDown and Raw and the whole Roman Reigns storyline. With that, the bloodline. But bro, like apart from that, I haven't seen anything like this, and it's uncharted waters, man, because it's just like what I'm like you as well. It's just like I don't understand the angle besides it being just the fact that they are Vince McMahon is really just trying to get this bag, you know. But like, how much money does he need as a multi-billionaire? You
I
know,
mean, he got, obviously he went out on a big low. Fair enough, he went on a big low, but you saw the guy. The guy is one of the most shameless people on this planet. He was out.
shameless.
He was out, like I think it was a month later for his birthday, out in dinner with Brock Lesnar and his girl, John Cena and his girl, and his random woman that he started dating, despite Linda
Hold on,
McMahon.
he ain't with Linda.
No, there was some random woman he was with at his birthday dinner. Linda wasn't there.
So
Bro,
hold on a second. He's not with Linda, or it's just a billionaire flex, like he can get himself a young thing.
no, I don't. I think that him and Linda are kaput. I think that's finito. I think that's finito. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. I'm not gonna lie
It,
to you.
it
Listen,
should have been done over.
oh yeah, exactly. This is a longer love story than Alfie and Cat Slater, man. For anyone that knows about these senders thing, you know what I'm saying? Like, man, bro, just dead in the water, man. Because from time where in a script where he has full control, he was saying that I'm going to lips another woman in front of you, on you're going to act as if you've got a
Oh my
disability on the
goodness.
stage, and I'm going to lips another woman. And to top it off, who was the penguinest woman in all wrestling at that moment in time as well? You're gonna have to firm that. Yeah, man, did it. It's done. Game. That marriage should have been done a
He
long
was
time ago.
lips in what was her
Trish,
name? Stacy Keebler. Lips in what's her name, man? The Canadian
Trish.
lady. Trish Stratus. That was his number one. He's shameless, man. My goodness.
Bro,
So I'm just really trying to see now if these, I don't even want to say it's rumors, because it feels quite solid in terms of like the reports that's going around. But if we just basing it on rumors right now, what kind of impact? Because you said it correctly. Like once you saw Stephanie McMahon stepping down, that made it even more real. Like, yo, what is going on? Because
mm,
I think I'm seeing an angle as this: like, if it has been accepted, or the company has been sold to Saudi Arabia with all that, the I don't know, to say maybe even restrictions to the female wrestlers. I know that they've fought very hard in terms of like really being able to get them to perform and stuff like that. But if this is now that a company, I mean, an Arab state that's taken over the company, and they have such strict rules in regards to how females are portrayed and on TV and stuff like that, do you think that's going to affect the women's division?
it's gonna affect the women's division big time, and it's also gonna affect some of the men, because there's a lot of guys that are not going to work for this company if they're
Mm.
under Saudi Arabian ownership, namely Sami Zayn. There's no way Sami Zayn is going to work for a company that's owned by Saudi Arabia or anyone from Saudi Arabia. That's just not happening. The women's division, I would be very worried because, I mean, it's taken, what, 5, 6 shows for them to allow women's matches on like two of them or three of them.
Mm.
Like, and they're not long matches. They're not, actually, no, one of them was long recently. I think the Becky Lynch and Lita one had some distance on it.
Longevity to it, yeah.
Yeah. But obviously they still got the rules about the clothing and all that. And look, the clothing doesn't make the talent. It's the talent is what they do in the ring and how good
Yeah,
they are
I
on the mic
also
and wrestling.
don't get phased by that.
Yeah, that's not a big deal. But the reason why I bring that up is because part of your character is being able to express who you are and what you wear and your style, and your ring gear says a lot. Like from the time when I listened to Stone Cold on his podcast years ago, saying the reason why he wore just black shorts, black knee pads, and black boots because no one was doing it, and he looked like he was simple, but you knew he was just there to come and kick ass. He was a simple guy,
Yeah.
but when he needs
Menace.
to talk as well, exactly, he's just a menace. But when he talks, you know he can deliver as well. So he had everything, but he didn't need to have the over the top look. You know,
Mm.
imagine telling like a Melina, for example. Look what Melina used to wear. Imagine telling Melina that she couldn't wear that the fluffy bits at the bottom of her pants and
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, you know, and the designs and everything. You just have to wear like something with a shirt on top.
Or even Rhea Ripley now. She's very,
Of
very, very in terms of being sexy, but in how can I put it, like a emo kind of way, like
she's
obviously
very
like
dominant. She's very
yeah,
dominant.
dominant
Yeah.
kind of character, and that
Telling
that
you
will
right
be
now,
very lost.
telling you right now, they ain't stopping her doing that. That's on me. Yeah, that's on me. That's on me.
Oh
Right?
God.
That's on me. But yeah, no. I mean, I don't know what you think because me personally, I would get. I think I'll get to the point where I'd say I'd actually not work for the company and go to the other side. If you know what I'm talking about.
I was gonna ask that question, like in terms of just like what would that how would this change affect the wrestlers? Obviously, you've touched on the female wrestlers, the male wrestlers also will be affected, as you said, Sami Zayn's and that. And I agree, man, because it's like if you have such high moral standards or whatever, and a lot of the guys don't go to these trips to Saudi Arabia anyway, as personal choices. Obviously, that will affect their bag, but they make their personal decisions. Like, look, man, I was sitting back thinking about this and just thinking to myself, like, where would they take this? Like, why? I was almost thinking to myself as well, and as I'm talking, I feel like I'm lost for words, but I was also thinking to myself, just like, why would Saudi Arabia want to obtain this? Just leave it be, man. Like, what can you really do with this? This is not your lane per se.
Nope.
But I know what you alluded to earlier on is just like there's fans all over the world, and it just kind of just shows just like how big of a reach WWE is, how big of a company it is. The likes of AEWs, the TNAs, all that kind of stuff are not being touted to be purchased like this. So, man, it just goes maybe a victim of their own success, and if it is that the dollar bills were just way too much for Vince McMahon to turn down, then it seems very much a selfish act, and I can't see where it benefits us as fans, where it benefits the wrestlers. Maybe the bag gets bigger for these wrestlers, but in terms of just like no,
Hell no. Hell
you
no.
don't
Hell
think
no.
so.
Hell no.
These wrestlers
Hell no.
don't get paid a lot as well in it, so it's
Bro,
like
it gets big for Vince McMahon,
yeah,
Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar.
goodness, Triple H.
No,
Where does
I don't think
Triple
so.
H like? Where do you think Triple H is with this? Because there's no talks of him stepping back, anything like that. He's been a big advocate in terms of like the Saudi Arabia shows. He's always front and center. He's very,
Mm.
very, this is kind of his baby kind of thing. I know this is a real big Vince push, the Saudi Arabia shows, but Triple H has always seemed very, very, front and center in regards to that push to Saudi Arabia. What do you reckon his take is on this?
I don't think he'd be against a Saudi Arabia. So I want to be careful with it because from what I was hearing or I said rather reading on Twitter weeks back was they were looking to sell the company at some point anyway, but more to like a Fox
Okay.
or like a Disney, keep it more, American kind of ownership because they wouldn't really take away from what you're doing. They own you, they know how to monetize you, you get your shows on their platforms. You still got a WWE network, you still got to deal with Peacock. Like, you can monetize properly. And I think that's smart.
Mm.
So whether he was against a sale to Saudi Arabia, I don't know. The one thing, if I was him, would be I'd make it very, very clear, if I'm being very honest, brutally honest right now, if you take full control as chairman of the board again, and you remove me as head of creative, I'm out. Because there is it's Triple H had set up a gem with NXT. The quality of talent that he was bringing from that brand was insane. Yes, they didn't have, not all of them had the big build and in terms of muscular and 6'5" plus whatever, but they were delivering quality matches. The characters were getting better. Someone like Johnny Gargano, for example, who couldn't really talk when he first joined the company, got better. He's not a fantastic talker now, but he can get on the mic and go. There's no problem there. Tommaso Ciampa came quite slim. He didn't really know what his thing was, and then one epic heel turn later, he becomes a monster. Even Karrion Kross, I didn't know much about him as, what was his name, Killer Kross on the indie scene. I didn't know much about him.
Yeah, and me either.
But he came onto the show and he just looked like a monster straight away. Samoa Joe, monster. And then they go into the main roster and it's like, what are we doing here? You know what I mean? Like Aleister Black. Apparently the rumor was, if it wasn't Drew McIntyre to face Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania, it would have been Aleister Black winning the Royal Rumble. But Aleister Black wouldn't have beaten Brock Lesnar because Vince McMahon's not allowing that.
Yeah,
I firmly don't believe that. But under what Triple H was doing, if he kept the characters the same way, let them build themselves as they did before and kept their character going and the popularity, I think you would have 10 to 20 potential world champions on there where people say, oh, okay, no, like if it was now, Roman Reigns beat Johnny Gargano, dominated him because he's got the build and everything. But what about the glorious Bobby Roode, who is so good in the ring and so smart? I missed that song. He's injured. That's why he's not. I missed that song. But you know what I'm saying? He turned like, God bless Dolph Ziggler. He'll do anything for that company. But the Dirty Dogs, the Dirty Dogs. Dirty Dogs, like great tag team as two great talents and everything. But Bobby Roode was a phenomenal NXT champion. That's someone that should be a WWE champion.
Yeah,
it's these things. So now you're bringing these guys back. They're building slowly. You're not throwing them down on it. It's people like, oh, he's bringing NXT guys back again, so it's just going to be NXT dominated. Karrion Kross has had a slow build. Johnny Gargano has been doing bits here and there. He's slowly coming back. Dexter Lumis, the same thing. Candice LeRae, the same thing. Mia Yim, slow, gradual, because you can't just throw them in there, expect fans to just say, oh yeah, I like this guy. It doesn't work like that. But if Vince comes back and takes control, forget about it. Dijak is going to become T-Bar again. Mustafa Ali's going to do Retribution 3.0. Dominic Mysterio will cheat on Rhea Ripley with Victoria. I don't know, something stupid, man. I don't know.
Even saying that, if the fact that Vince McMahon is assuming position again, and this guy has been hands-on with WWE for the longest time. So even the fact that he took a step back was a shock to me. But him coming back, do you think that he, under the Saudi Arabians, that he will still have that kind of them raunchy storylines and stuff like that? Or will the Saudi Arabians be like, have more kind of say per se in terms of like how the direction of the company is going and the shows? Do you think they'll have say on the shows?
I don't think so. I think if they buy it, it's because WWE make the money. I think that's the whole purpose of it, because WWE already has done some, even in the PG era and the reality era, if you want to call it that, they've still had some moments on TV where you're like, don't know. But if they're still able to do shows abroad and have their shows shown on Saudi Arabian TV, they'll be okay. I don't think that will change. It'll only change when they're doing shows in Saudi Arabia. I think there would be more shows in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
And I think there would be a WrestleMania there. There would be a SummerSlam, a Survivor Series, Money in the Bank like they're doing with the UK one. I think that's what they do, because why wouldn't they have a reason to, if you own the company, what's stopping me from having the greatest show in my country? Like,
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like,
Well,
all I think about that. Yeah.
it's funny enough that you said I've just been scanning over the Twitter just to get more understanding and maybe more scope. So we've got a tweet from, I always forget to pronounce his name, is Ariel Helwani.
Yeah.
Helwani? Yeah. So
L1, yeah.
he's basically stated that, obviously, contrary to reports stating that otherwise last night, there is no deal in place at this precise moment. So that's key, at this precise moment, for WWE to be sold to the Saudi Arabia's Public Investment Fund, or any entity sources say. So the organization is still exploring all options, and he's being told that it's on development should I say, it's all developing. So which sounds just about right on what you've just said. Like, if it is sold to the Saudi Arabians, then it probably will look more in a sense of like, all right, cool, we have crown jewel there, and maybe we'll have options or dibs in terms of like the bigger shows. So maybe in that year we'll have the SummerSlam, or in that year we'll have WrestleMania or Royal Rumble, as well as just investing money in a company like any other investor would do, like any other, like as we see in football and stuff like that. But you still got your main chairman, and Vince McMahon still having a percentage of obviously as a stakeholder and stuff like that, which would make sense if it was like that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. Yeah.
So just the last thing I wanted to touch on was, we've seen it now. We've seen it in football. The likes of Newcastle's, we've seen the PSGs, your Man Cities, very heavily, owned by Arab countries. We've just now seen recently one of the, greatest footballers of all time, Ronaldo, going to Saudi Arabia, leaving, leaving the high level that he wanted to be playing at, for the bag. Let's not kid ourselves. For the bag, and a big bag that he's getting, and he's gone to Saudi Arabia. What do you think that this is? And we've seen boxing, we've seen the likes of AJ, box out there in Saudi Arabia against Andy Ruiz, and I can't remember who else he fought out there. But we've seen loads of different sports, and now we're seeing entertainment, people, performing. Is this now the future of sports and entertainment, going out to the Arab state countries?
Maybe it's something that a lot of people are gonna start making peace with, bro.
We've seen the World Cup as well in Qatar.
It's literally the biggest tournament on the planet was in Qatar. So if that can go to Qatar and be successful, what's gonna stop anyone else from going? I mean, look, it's funny because you're gonna have, in the wrestling world, you're gonna have for example, the AEW guys taking shots and saying, "Oh, your blood money and this, that, and the other," right? When the opportunity arises for you, when people from Saudi Arabia are tweeting and watching your show and loving your show, and you see the opportunity to go and entertain their fans and make money, yeah, we'll see what you feel about it then. Because the thing is,
good luck with trying to turn it down.
Yeah, because it's like, look, in WWE, when they go and when they went in the past, Daniel Bryan didn't go. Sami Zayn will never go. I think Kevin Owens didn't go 1 or 2 times. There's been a lot of names that just won't go, and understandably so. I get it. As we said at the beginning, human rights, just conflict with other countries, and with Syria and so on and so forth. Absolutely, I get it. No problem there, right? And in AEW, for example, there will be wrestlers that say, "I don't want to go there," but there's also going to be wrestlers that say, "I know how much money I can make on that given night. I'm going." It's the reason why a very, very, very much retired Shawn Michaels could come back for one match.
A bald Shawn Michaels.
Kurt Angle said on his podcast, I think literally this week or last week, Shawn Michaels got paid £3 million for that, or dollars, whatever it is. He got paid $3 million, bro, for that. one match comeback, $3 million because it's there.
Wow.
Because it's there. You do that in any other country, you're not making anywhere near that money.
Mm.
So why wouldn't you go and perform there for one night and make that money? Because whether you're in football, whether you're in wrestling, or whether you're just in work, in life in general, we all work for the sole purpose of making money. We all dream to be in jobs that we love and we enjoy, where it doesn't feel like a job, it feels like another day out. And that is the ambition, that's the goal for everybody. But why are you there? What is the thing that you're earning? It's
Mm.
money, because you need money to survive. And I don't know how much AEW wrestlers are on. I don't know how much Impact wrestlers are on. I don't know how much some WWE wrestlers are on, because I know people like Roman Reigns and Cena. Those guys are fine. They have no worries. They'll never have any worries. But if you're random name Drew Gulak, if you're Drew Gulak and you go on a run and they say, I'm going to give you $1 million to go and perform in one match and be a jobber for, I don't know, Baron Corbin, managed by JBL, you're taking that 1
You're
million
taking
and
that
you're
1
running.
million.
And if you get fired, who cares? Because you just got 1 million in one day. Like,
And wrestling is such a conveyor belt as well. You know, you're here today, gone tomorrow, but there's always an opportunity to come back. And
there you
and
go.
and a lot of these wrestlers, that's probably how they're thinking about it. Like whatever grief, whatever backlash they get, fans and people that are against that are fickle, because they'll be protesting, saying this and that, and then in a month or two they're forgotten. By the end of the year, a new storyline is created. You come back, and then it's all forgotten. I totally understand that, and I think you made a very good point. We need to also understand it's not everybody in Saudi Arabia or Arab, state countries and stuff like that that are of how they've been portrayed as bad and stuff like that. There are loving fans, there are loving people, there are people that just love wrestling just and want to be entertained just like the rest of us. And those are the ones, I guess, are the ones that should be benefiting from the likes of WWEs and whether it be music or whether it be football. As we saw, so much badness and bad talk was casted upon Qatar World Cup, but then we all saw what a brilliant show that it provided for us. We've seen how brilliant, well, I wouldn't say brilliant, but we've seen how successful a crown jewel event show can be done. But my only worry is just the fact that, in terms of full control, if it is a case that Vince McMahon is sold the whole company, that in itself wouldn't sit well. Because I'm just thinking, man, you've got your daughter, you've got Shane McMahon, you've got your grandkids. This was your dad's company. Surely it can't be that. But I think through this conversation, it's kind of eased my heart a little bit to kind of think that, nah, that can't be possible for him to sell the whole company.
Bro, you know what it is, yeah? We've had that conversation, but I'm about to become a very, very bad guy. Listen, man. This is we know Vincent Man has done some heinous acts, man.
He
Heinous
easily
acts.
can dance with the devil.
Yeah, literally, brother. And he will be leading the dance. He won't be following. He be leading. Yo, like
Oh
it's
man.
one of the ones where I have that Paul Heyman DVD where they released a couple of years ago, and he's talking about that promo. When he's in the ring with Vince. I think it's like 2001. The ECW, the
Beast.
alliance,
Yeah.
yeah, the alliance, and he just goes off for like 10 minutes on Vince, and then suddenly sends for Taz for some reason, and then Taz goes into the ring and chokes him out. Paul Heyman said that that night, Vince McMahon said, grab the mic and say what you want to say. You can deliver all truth. It can be as real as you want it to be. And he said, are you sure you want to do this? Because if you give me this mic right now to go out there and
The
say
pipe
what I
bomb.
really want to say, wait, we're going to be in big trouble here. And Vince said, do it. And the one line that always goes back into my head to really actually realize what kind of person this man was is he said in the promo that your dad begged you not to monetize and take over all the territories in America and make a one single entity of wrestling because he wanted everyone to flourish. Basically, he's boys with everybody. He wants everybody to win. As soon as he passed away, it's like you took his words and said "fuck off," and you just brought everybody out. And when WCW was struggling, you took them out of the equation as well. And when TNA and Impact was struggling, yes, you didn't buy them out, but you struck little deals where you'd grab wrestlers and then their compensation package would be Christian can go and talk for their Hall of Fame for like 5 minutes and then leave. And like just the small things he was doing, but they had such a huge impact.
Yeah.
You're going toe to toe with WCW, and fair enough, that's a toe to toe thing. So you go to war with them, and you're trying to outbeat them. You beat them, and then when you see they're running out of business, you not only do you buy them, you effectively wipe out the company as a whole. ECW did the same thing as well. You struck a secret deal, and you're slowly grabbing wrestlers, Raven, Taz, Sandman, Tommy Dreamer, and Sabu, and then they'll come to your company and do
nothing.
You give them a one night stand, and Rob Van Dam will win WWE title, but then lose it on Raw. Admittedly so. Sorry. Excuse me. Admittedly so. I think RVD said that he failed the drugs test, so he had to lose the title. Fair play.
Enough. Yeah, the fair play.
Enough.
Got to drop the title.
Yeah, but I always say this after watching what he did to Kofi Kingston, after what he did to Jinder Mahal, what he did to this guy, that guy. I don't think that mattered. I think he had a plan to make you drop that title time ago. He didn't care about ECW. ECW became a joke. They went from their small ballroom, which actually gave atmosphere, and then they started touring. It's like, what can I equate it to? It's like West Ham leaving Upton Park and going to that stupid Olympic Stadium and having zero atmosphere. Like, why would you leave your cauldron of fire where when someone comes there, they feel the pressure. Their heads are hot. And they're like, yo, the fan, when the ball goes off for a throw, the fan is right here.
Right there, on top of you.
Bro. And nah, man, I don't try.
Do you know how I see it as well? Just even thinking about like how ruthless Vince McMahon could be in terms of the business world. It's like, it's just the more I might disapprove of the initial thought of it, it's like this guy has built WWE to this monster of a company. So who am I to be like, yo, this ain't gonna work in Saudi Arabia? But if this we're talking about a man that openly screwed Bret Hart, like, he mixed business and personal in the storyline, and it ended up just being all personal at the end of the day. Got sparked for it, got punched up in the locker room, wobbled out, got up, continued on with his business. I think it's just a situation with Vince McMahon. Love him or hate him, he's a shrewd businessman. We definitely gonna have to see how this pans out. And I definitely want to like read into more like what is really going on. I think just reading that last tweet saying that, contrary to the reports that's going out there, that's what I was saying. Is it still rumors or is it really been confirmed? So at the moment, it is rumors that, WWE, Vince McMahon has sold WWE to the Saudi Arabians. And if that was to be the case, man, I don't know. Like you maybe try and start watching AEW, but even AEW, man.
Oh no, I'm not gonna lie to you. No. I'm gonna rephrase myself. I think I said the wrestlers will go to AEW. I didn't sound following. Listen, man. Listen, man.
Let's rewind that.
Listen,
Kojo is not guy. Listen, we'll say it now. Myself and Kojo will not be defecting to AEW. We're still
Nope.
WWE.
I will go. I will go and watch wrestling in Islington rather than sit home and watch that crap, man. Nah, man. Nah, man. No way. No, no way.
Oh man, but yeah, man. I thought, listen, as soon as we got this news, I was like, man, I got shout out to my boy Kojo. Just let's thrash this out because I knew that you at least with your knowledge and your know-how of what's going on in wrestling, you kind of have a bit of an insight and at least put myself at ease. Because when I first read the story, I was just like, no way, what is going on here? But we definitely gonna have to watch this space, even for you guys out there, man. Obviously you wrestling heads, let us know what you think. If WWE or Vince McMahon was to sell the whole company to the Saudi Arabia, how would you feel about that, man? Put your comments in the comment section. Let us know how you're feeling about that and how you feeling about wrestling. Obviously, if you still watch wrestling, how you feeling about it, man? You've been watching it. I know that we haven't done our weekly recaps with how the bloodline are doing lately and Roman Reigns and but we're coming very. When's Royal Rumble?
Royal Rumble is in 2 or 3 weeks now. 3 weeks.
Hey.
3 weeks.
So we definitely gonna have to do a roundup of what's been going on in the last couple of weeks. This new year, obviously, the back end of last year was John Cena KO versus Roman Reigns and Sami Zayn. Obviously, Roman Reigns and Sami Zayn losing, but Roman Reigns telling the world that it's not. I didn't lose. I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't lose. But Sami Zayn did, and you promised, you guaranteed. Why are you doing that? You trying to be me? You trying to be the tribal chief?
God, I love the guy, man. Man looked at the camera and said, "Why'd you call your shot?" I was like, oh shit. Oh no.
If you guys didn't watch, man, just the last couple weeks, man. This New Year's, the last couple of shows. So I think it's SmackDown and Raw, right? That's been so far. So 1 week's worth of WWE. Go and watch that, catch up, because next show we're definitely gonna give you a recap of what's been going on, and then obviously a preview to the things that's going to be happening towards or going into Royal Rumble. I think a few matches have been already set up, right? I'm not sure. Yeah. So we'll definitely get into it. But yeah, man, Kojo, I know you're pressed for time and you got to do your thing. You know what I'm saying? But love as always, my bro. Love as always. Any final thoughts?
Well, firstly, you know what? On a personal level, Saturday is a beautiful or either poor day for me. So Man United don't let me down. Sunday, same thing. Dashiki ain't gonna like this, but Tottenham don't let me down. But then I shouldn't say that because they let everybody down anyway. So anyway, and
it's gonna be a big weekend, a big massive weekend, man. Manchester derby, North London derby. We definitely got to see what happens. And obviously, myself being an Arsenal fan, Kojo being a Man United fan, we're both going to be on tender hooks, just trying to see whether or not our teams win. But yeah, man, it's going to be crazy.
And back to the wrestling, I always implore you guys to always respect and acknowledge your reigning, defending, undisputed WWE Universal Heavyweight Champion, the head of the table, the tribal chief, the head of the bloodline, the head of your table. That's you watching your table. Roman Reigns.
Mr. God Mode himself.
God Mode.
Roman Reigns. Love that. Love your energy as per usual, Kojo, man. We're going to definitely see how this story unfolds, develops. Will Vince McMahon sell WWE to the Saudi Arabia investment company entity, or will it just be a case where just a little bit of the shares and we're not going to be as taken back by this news? But we'll find out in the next couple days, few weeks or so, try and see what develops. But in the meantime, like I said, man, if you got any comments or any you want to chime in, let us know, man. Put your messages in the comment section. Holler at us, chat. Listen, when it comes to wrestling, me and Kojo will chat about wrestling all day long. So ask your questions and we'll look into it for you. And if you got any information, let us know as well, man. But until the next time here on Do You Still Watch Wrestling, I bid you goodbye. Until next time. Peace.